So 2 weeks, 7 times. 2 weeks, 7 times. Right now we're not set up for cash yet. Not in that order.
Oh yeah, I just gotta call Gary. Because like Sean always uses that for social media.
So for this class, I mainly just want to do kind of situational sparring more than actual like showing technique. We'll go through, we'll constrain the sparring to a specific portion of the game. We'll focus on that, and then if you have trouble, we'll work on that specifically. So if you have something that actually applies to what you're trying to do. We're going to start with the snap down knee tap drill. So with my partner, we're both going for the same thing. I'm trying to touch the back of his knee, or if he's getting really low, I'm trying to snap him down to get both hands on the mat. So what you'll find is if you're lower, it'll be easier to get to the knee because you're closer, you don't have as far to go. It'll be easier to defend the knee, but if you go too low, then you become vulnerable to snap downs. How high you stand, how low you stand depends on what kind of game you want to play and how good they are, how fast they are. If he's a lot faster than me and I know he likes to enter in the legs, I'll play lower because I'm more worried about fitting my knees. If I'm fairly comfortable with my ability to counter the shots, then I'll stand up, I'll encourage the shot, and I'll try to counter from there. So for this drill, we're just focusing on like entries and defenses as well. You don't have to like throw them or whatever. As long as you can get to that entry, you're good.
So we just want to grab the leg?
Yep, just as soon as if I can get a tap here or here.
Okay, that's it. All right.
Yep, or snap down
Okay.
if it's there. Yeah, so we'll just do 2 minutes. Just because we're going to be doing this the whole class, go at a pace that you understand what's happening and that you can do the whole class. So don't burn yourself out trying to win. The main goal isn't necessarily to win, it's just to understand why you win or why you lose. So at the end of a point, you should be able to reenact with your partner what exactly happened and then be able to figure out what you did right, what you did wrong. If your partner does something to you that you don't understand, then ask them, and then they should at least be aware enough of what they were trying to do that they can talk you through what they were trying to do.
So we're like hand fighting and all that still, right?
Yeah.
Like just kind of.
It depends on what you want to work. So I know I'm pretty lazy. I like to hand fight and then enter this way.
Yeah.
So my normal game is to grip fight and then get to the knee. But I want to focus on shooting from a distance. So that means not letting you get the grips and shooting there.
Yeah.
So we'll do just like 2 minutes or so. So that way you have time to try it out with different partners. Any questions? All right.
I'm a real beginner, so will you guys walk me through a kind of piece?
Yeah.
Matt's got to put the remote down.
What's that?
You got to put the remote down. It's like teaching the class with the remote.
That's the remote.
It's like whack him in the head with the remote.
Okay. 2 minutes on the clock. And then between each one, we'll do a breakdown if you want. So the entire goal is just to touch the back of my knee or snap me down between that. So if I'm like super low, yep. You're turning to defend in a second.
Oh yeah.
Great.
Yep.
Draw. I know. See there, I should have gone to the back of your head, right?
Nice, man.
Let's look at that.
I'm waiting for a snap down.
Yeah.
I'm not timing it well.
Vertically challenged. Know that.
I'm not shooting. I'm not getting reactions.
Spider, you can't see. Oh, sorry. All good. My fault. Yeah.
sometimes you're touching me, but I feel like if I have the double underhooks, it's like, yeah, you're touching my leg, but I double underhooks.
Oh, great.
Okay.
So, debrief with your partner. What went right, what went wrong? What you learned, if anything.
I gotta shoot, or at least pretend to shoot.
So,
I just stand there, you're not gonna be doing well.
real quick, you want to go around what they learned, if anything. So you really want to keep your weight centered in between your feet. The more I reach over and towards my head over my toes, the more I'm vulnerable to getting snapped down or countered or whatever. Because now, like this is where my base is. The more I'm near on the edge of my base, the easier it is to take me over. Whereas the more centered I am, if I try to shoot here and you try to snap me down, I have a good posture, so I can recover from it and I can still move. So I'm trying to keep good posture at all times. Even when I'm level changing, I don't really want to reach out like here, because then I'll get snapped down, I'll get countered hard. But if I come with good posture, it gives me the ability to react to anything you do. So if you snap down, I can just use that to pull me into your legs.
Gotcha.
And that's kind of something we cover too. The closer I am to your legs, so distance equals time. The closer my hands are to your legs, the easier it is for me to touch them. And the closer my hands are to yours too. And then also if my hands are under yours, now for you to get to my knees, you have to go through my hands.
Right.
So now you have to go around, and I have a straight line. So I'm going to win that battle because I have the inside position.
Gotcha.
Anything else?
No, so good.
Okay.
It's that grip, I want that. I was just kind of waiting for you to reach with that hand. Sorry, I'm squatting there the whole time. Go like this.
Would you notice anything about you?
Don't take me for
I would agree with that, yeah.
stand-ups. Yeah.
Because we were reaching forward with that lead hand, I'm looking at like Russian singles, arm drags. That backhand is a long distance for me to try to connect.
And it's like if you pull it, I'm not off balance. If you pull this one, I'm.
That's the thing too, where if you know they're trying to touch guard, if you can touch their leg
You get
before
points.
they do, yeah, you get the points on
Two
that
points
too.
just if you touch
Which,
my
which
leg
is
when
why,
I sit.
like this knee tap, you can just make it an ankle tap, right? So if I go here, I know he's trying to go. Now I got my point.
Yeah, that's a good strike. If they're just, if you're like, you feel someone about to pull guard, you just do that. Yeah, it's a good technique.
Well, the other thing too, but not to get too down the rabbit hole, is if I frame your arm across you, now if you try to pull guard, you're not going to pull any kind of intelligent guard.
Right, no, I'm gonna pull it out of control.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
You guys learn anything this go around? Mainly the hands. Like that, my eye level is about where the hands are, but I'm also trying to keep my head up.
The hands are the only thing that can really hurt you. You know what I mean? Like, because they can't kick you. So if they're allowed to kick you, that would be bad.
Their knees are going to be where they are based off of their hips and center mass. So I can kind of feel out where it's going to be at my peripherals.
Right. There's probably some other things that you could look at and benefit from, but I feel like the hands have got to be the best.
Yeah. Well, the way I like to play too, I like to grip fight into my takedowns anyways. So I'm typically trying to get a grip on the hands and then enter in anyways.
Right, which is the stuff we talked about in the first class. So you weren't here for the first class when I was showing like when we do hand fight, like grabbing like not here, but like grabbing the meat of the hand so that you can kind of like squish their hands together. And like Matt's doing that when he's doing this hand fighting stuff. I'm gonna reach to try to grab him and he'll counter that, and it's like my hand is very useless here.
So that's what I worked with him, and then it kind of leads into the next thing we're gonna do anyway. I like to grab hamburger grip from his pinky inwards, and then my hands are on his knuckles. So here, if I roll this out, his elbow is open, there's a whole big space here, and then now my hand is closer to his knee. And now when I let go, it's gonna be a race, but because I have the inside position, I know like the speed is there. I'm gonna win every time just because my hand's closer there, and I'm dictating when I let go. Okay. All right, so moving on to the next drill. One person is just gonna try to get kind of neutral ties where it's collar tie, bicep tie. They're just trying to stay square, and they're trying to get here and just maintain this as long as they can if they can get there. We're starting from out here, they're just trying to enter there. The other person is trying to get to an underhook, and then head position. Head position, I have my ear to his shoulder, I'm getting my forehead to his chin, and then my underhook is deep. A loose underhook is fine, where I'm hugging the shoulder and I'm flaring this elbow out to expose this area, but I don't want to be some in between here, because then he can arm lock me. Right, so I either want to be a loose underhook where my hand's on the shoulder and I'm flaring this out to keep his
wizard
armpit.
there.
Yeah, I want to keep this exposed, or I want to be deep across his shoulder where my shoulder is in his armpit.
And there's no wizard there.
Right. Okay, everyone understand? What we're
So
gonna
the
do?
other guy just wants to do a collar tie?
Yeah,
or
they're just
a
trying to get
tie?
to neutral position. So I'm just trying to keep you here, and then you're.
Are we supposed to start here?
No, we're starting from out
Okay.
here. I just want to give the other person something to try to do to give you something to rock off of instead of just
The
being a
other
dummy.
one, so we'll just pick one and switch.
Right.
Okay, cool. I'll do the underhook one and do the collar tie.
So you want me to do the collar tie?
Yeah, you're gonna try to do that, or I'm gonna try to underhook?
Okay, so we're kind of fighting for underhooks on this side. Sort of.
You're looking for a collar tie and my
Go
feet.
for it.
So yours will be both over.
I'll go for furthest what you're looking for.
Okay.
Like this?
And then the other one is kind of under.
So both overhooks. Now I'm looking
Get round.
One thing I forgot to mention, when you get to the underhook, just hold it for 3 seconds and then that counts. Like as long as you can get it and maintain it.
Yep.
So if I get here, 1, 2, 3, we're good, just reset and try again.
Same for the collar tie.
Collar tie, you're just holding it the whole time. If they can't get out of it or address it, then
Okay, then they suck. Okay. So how
Collar tie, the other person tries to get the underhook.
get the underhook? Yeah, but we start from like open grapple situation.
Okay, gotcha.
No, I'm not, I know.
So, okay, great.
Okay. Me, to grab you again.
Nice.
We'll go eat this more, I'm gonna hurt him. Okay.
There you go, nice.
I like that. It's a good attitude.
One, two, three. That's hard to like.
How'd the doing?
Actually,
Trying to resist you, right?
commit to that one move. I'm like, I wanted to do something different.
Am I doing the
Alright,
same
switch. No, I'm gonna collar tie you now.
Okay, and I'm trying to get
Get that underhook. Yeah.
back. Like this.
Get to I got to the back just because that's kind of where we went, but you only have to get there.
Okay.
Get to the back. That's what that counts too, though.
Oh,
You okay?
yeah,
Okay.
okay.
You slapped my hand into your head. Okay, okay.
Don't be afraid of me.
No, I know. It's like this.
I just felt like it was good.
I'll do it. Good workout.
The defense is not doing the right thing.
Alright,
Make
well,
sense.
I don't know.
I think I want to
It's hard to even get
what
close.
friends help me versus
When you only have one option.
I don't want to.
Yeah.
You know,
Expose
you know I'm
myself
coming
to
in with
different
a
stuff.
collar tie, right? Or coming in with underhook.
Right. Way. You did such a good job slipping through.
Yeah, it's more trying to fight for inside position.
I don't know what I would do differently.
Spending more time actually trying to get in, or are we spending more time?
But it's constrained right now.
The more your elbows come up, the easier it is for me.
Right,
because
I
I'm
just-
so
you
much
just gotta get
in
after
the
it.
script and I'm trying
Right.
to enter him. Also, like,
tight.
You feel like this. I'm like,
Like when you started like kind of retreating at the beginning, I was like, if I don't go after
I
it,
turned almost
I'm
like
not gonna touch
contact
it.
with my
So.
shoulder to your chest.
And then you started coming after me, and I was like, fuck, I can't.
kind of ran away the first one. I was like,
That's fine, it's just,
I just.
what you guys learn? Anything? Anything work? Anything definitely not work?
It was more challenging than I thought, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, the other person knows what you're trying to do.
Exactly.
Yeah, and you don't have any tools other than the one thing I'm allowed to do, so.
Right, so,
Yeah.
Nice.
The other thing I noticed, like, I got an underhook, like, but it wasn't deep, you know, and so like getting from the shallow one, like, I'm like trying to like, you know, use my body English to kind of like shove him,
yeah,
you know, because I'm like, this arm's gotta stay, I can't lose him.
right.
And the other arm's fending off all the other collar tie stuff. He wants
That's
to
where
do.
the head position can help. So I found when I got a shallow underhook, I'm hugging his shoulder and then I'm driving my head into him to try to keep this arm up. Anybody have? So who had trouble more, defending or attacking? You haven't switched yet.
I have a lot of
I
trouble
don't know,
defending.
both. To be totally honest, you know, I was struggling.
What were you trying to?
I was trying to defend.
Trying to defend.
Yeah,
What were you having trouble with? What was she doing that was giving you
she was
trouble?
moving around a lot.
Okay,
Like
so
a
it's
ton,
getting
like
an
a
angle
ton.
on you, right?
Yeah, a ton.
Yeah, so the whole thing, defending, attacking, you always want to stay square to your opponent. When I'm attacking, I'm trying to get off to an angle where I can look directly through him, and he's looking past me.
Okay.
So I'm constantly trying to force him to reorient on me as I'm trying to get an angle. So if he's following me this way, then I'll circle the other direction, and then keep going back and forth. I don't want to ever just settle. If we stay square, then we're just going to get locked up here. We're going to get stuck here forever. So I want to always be looking for an angle.
Okay.
Okay, switch.
Alright, I'll go for the
So I'm trying to get you, well, yes, I'm trying to get you like this, right? Okay. Yeah.
I'm also trying not to like actually give you the ability to.
I'm supposed to just keep it.
Yeah, you're doing the right thing. You got your collar tied and your bicep tied. I kind of have an underhook. You can't get it off.
No, no worries.
Oh, alright. Switch again. And we're doing the opposite of match rules.
So I'm doing
You're
okay,
gonna
that's
go
good.
Wait a minute.
She's, yeah,
I was
nice,
just trying-
nice
yeah,
man, you're
right.
doing that. Nice man. You're winning that exchange, good job.
You gotta underhook with your shoulder. You're trying to do it
Oh, I
with
see.
your hand. Right? With your shoulder. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
That's it. You're underhook with your hand, and every time I just feel your hand, I'm gonna have to
Okay.
Yeah, so I just wait. So
So you really got.
you're gonna underhooks with shoulders, not hands or arms at all. Like you watch your videos, you're gonna get that shoulder in there, and that's what's doing the work. So alright, switch it up.
Alright, so I'm back to the tie.
Nice job, Amanda. Good job, you had some.
Yeah, good findings for that. It was funny, I just laughed because I did like 10 in a row, it just kept sneezing. He kept getting underhooked, and I just kept going, whoop, and I was swimming on there.
So what'd you have done?
He's swimming with his underhook with his hand, right?
Yeah.
So I'd be like, kind of like here,
Yeah.
like, and
You're
he's
just gonna
swimming, and
pummel
I just
kind of.
swim back in
Yeah.
every time. He's got like, you got an underhook with that shoulder, man, that shoulder in
Yeah.
there.
Yeah, you gotta fill that space. So when you're pummeling, you wanna fill that gap. Where is it? Right here? You pummeling? So I wanna get contact with my shoulder to his chest, because now there's less space.
And I'm like, I'm tall, right? So I'm coming in over the top and pummeling on you, so his
Yeah.
shoulder's gonna block that. I'm not getting in there. I'm not
Yeah,
gonna
so a lot of it's shoulder contact. The more shoulder contact I can get here, now I can get a deeper underhook. I'm safer, and then it's also harder for him to pummel in because now it's the gap is closed off. Whereas if I'm loose here, I kind of try to get a loose. He can pummel in.
So you're
This one.
Oh.
Yeah, he can pummel in, or he can arm lock, overhook hard.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so there's his arm lock there. That's why you always want to be either a deep one or that shallow underhook, because now if he tries to overhook, he doesn't have the leverage to finish that.
Yeah.
Anything else?
So if you get stuck like halfway, are you going running back to the shallow?
What do you mean?
So like I'm like thinking I'm shooting a deep one,
Yeah.
but I get to like here and you lock it, you whizzer it.
Yeah.
So are you going, oh, I
Yeah,
gotta
yeah.
get back here?
Yeah. Either that or just letting it go. I would rather limp arm out.
Or
than-
like a
than-
shitty, yeah.
Yeah, and then get
happen.
stuck. If I can get to a shallow one, so if I get here, you
Yeah.
start overhooking. I would rather come. You can try that,
Yeah.
or just let go and and try again.
Or go for a single too, I guess, right? It's
Yeah.
like-
Well, I mean, part of
Not-
having the
not the
underhook
game, but-
is it makes it easier to change levels without having to worry about it, because
Yeah.
now you have the inside position and you're already lower.
Yeah.
So anything else?
I think I'm still just running the ropes.
So one thing I saw where a lot of you probably had trouble with is if we're collar tie, bicep tie, and locked up here, and we're just
Yep.
like this position,
Yeah.
it's going to be hard for me to get that underhook because it's going to be hard for me to fill that gap because we have so much connection here. For me to come off, he can fill that space and then like make it neutral again so easily. So if I'm earnestly trying to get that underhook and we're locked up here,
What is
I'm,
an underhook right now too, because I think we just assumed everyone knows what that is.
so underhook is I'm hooking under the arm. Shallow one is I'm grabbing the shoulder and I'm keeping my elbow high, trying to keep his elbow away from his ribs. A deep one is I'm hugging across his lat and my shoulder is in his armpit. Okay. So if we're locked up, it's going to be hard for me to change levels, to do anything, because he can frame me out, he can pummel in and circle up. So I'm going to push out, reset to neutral, and I'm going to try to get those grips before he can get his hands on me. Right. So now here, I can start attacking his arms, feeding in, and entering under my terms. Whereas if I let him get to the position he wants, now it's gonna be a lot harder for me to do anything. If I try to go inside, he can just frame me out and control the inside position, and then I'm not going to be able to get it on. That makes sense?
I
Okay,
think
so
like a good high level concept is just kind of like getting inside their space and touching them with your shoulder.
yeah,
Just-
so
you can
trying
do
to
that
occupy
and
inside
then
space,
set up.
the closer I am to his center mass, the more I occupy the inside, the more I win. Because distance-wise, I'm nearly always going to beat him if I occupy the inside, because now he has to reach around the distance in front of him, so it's going to take longer. So,
You're almost close.
yeah. So we'll just do one more drill. This time, we're starting with the deep underhook, head position, and the goal is to get both your opponent's feet off the mat, or that you can lift like this, get your butt under them to lift up, or if you can just get one leg off the mat for 3 seconds, you're good. The other person's just trying to defend and get back to a neutral position, so that gets to their collar tie, right? So I'm here. If he's able to square back up to me, then we're just gonna reset. Okay. So we'll just do 1 minute, and then we'll switch, and then we'll get into live rounds.
I can pick classes.
Do you want to start with that?
Okay.
Good
So,
position, inside position?
Yeah, I guess so. So,
So that is one way you win. Another way is like a hip throw. Where you like step in. Yep.
That's brothers. I got.
Let's reset. Everyone again.
let's reset.
Oh, you're good, you're good.
Punching bag. Trying to frame, get your head off. I think that's the best. Like, that's what I've seen Jimmy do. Is he always plays guys head straight.
Alright. Debrief with your partner. What worked, what didn't work.
From there, yeah.
I felt good, like
You
I had a
did
lot
a
of
good
to
job.
square up again.
Yeah.
And even if I couldn't get anything else away from you, if I square up, I feel like I'm safer, a lot safer. Because when you're on the side of me over here, right when we started, you just picked me right up. What do you do? So to be able to get a foot away and get square again, it was super valuable.
Yes,
And then you had a couple good
so normally I would just get
reversals where you went to your leg, like, you know,
Yeah, I
you
should
don't
give
worry
up. I
about-
sit and give up. I give up.
It's good, you had a lot of different attacks.
I've lost. I've lost the game. If your hands locked. Most likely, there's like a 98% chance I lost the game because
I don't do anything else anymore.
I couldn't get it back off of me once it just like what I have enough.
Yeah, oh, hey, it works.
Yeah, that's why it's too long.
It's different, like, too. College running.
So if I hip out.
We just changed the game because like
Yeah.
So you gotta stiff arm the hand, stiff arm the head,
Yeah, prevent power.
and then you got the inside face is down open.
Yeah.
Take it for a ride.
So one thing we found is if you let the person attacking lock their hands on the other side, then it's pretty much over. Like it's very hard to recover from that point. But if you can hand fight there, now you can start to make distance. You can start to back out.
If I could get,
You can break that head position.
This was my best move. I never got him completely off of me, but when I felt this, like I was about to win, I got to like here.
Yeah.
And then he managed to come back. Like I got that like elbow inside the frame on the neck and the hand, and I'm like, all right, all I have to do is kind of get to here, and then I'm gonna start attacking. But it's
You guys
so
ready to
far.
switch? Just last one, and then we can do some rounds. It's up to you.
You must do something with them all.
I think it was close, but not. You can start with the hand. No?
This hand?
Yeah.
Wow, we're doing though, huh? Trying to hold on to something? Like grease lightning. All right.
So that's kind of what we worked to. On the defense, I was trying to hand fight as much as possible, prevent him from closing his hands around my waist, because then I have more opportunities. I can turn either which way. I can also turn out, give up my back. As long as he can't lock on to my back with that hand, I can turn back into him. For the head position, how I was trying to address it was by dropping down and trying to circle in. If he's this tight in where I can't circle in, I'm trying to feed this in between and circle, and now I can make that space.
So you'll give up overhooks and underhooks and stuff just to get back inside.
Right. Well, because here he's on my back.
Yeah.
So
He's really got
this
that.
doesn't do me any good.
Yeah.
As much as if I circle in,
Yeah.
I can try to frame, and then I can start pummeling back. So he's already mainly there.
Yeah.
I'm not just trying to double down on like, stop going there when you already won.
Yeah.
So I'm just trying to keep him from making it worse, and then pummel back in over top. Okay, we good? Do
Yeah.
a couple rounds. I'll put 3 minutes on the clock, and then we'll start from.
These are really nice mats. I never want to get on the ground again.
Something we're trying to play with called positioning. And it's basically we're going, we're not doing like, we're seeing here is a constant flow and exchange of defensive to offensive cycles to defensive cycles. And it's going between two parts. So it's, it's sparring, but it's like very strategic. So what we're doing here is we're notionally ending up in a position, and now I'm going to add a little bit more pressure to what's going on. Nice. Yep.
Pretty good. Have a little bit.
Nice.
You good?
Freeze right here. See how you're trying to launch up? Hold them just a little bit. And go only as fast as perfect distance. See that leg that what leg you're pushing up here? You're not, yeah, exactly. Keep this strap. Yep, keep this strap, exactly. So load this up and then throw your hips to the sky. That's what we're looking for. Nice job. Keep your straps. Over. Yep. Nice job. Stop.